Lucy Liu's first slice of the action came in 1999, when she played Princess Pei-Pei in the comedy romp Shanghai Noon, starring Luke Wilson and Jackie Chan. But she had to wait until the following year to really get her kicks by playing Special Agent Alex Monday in the big-screen version of 70s TV hit Charlie's Angels. Alongside Drew Barrymore and Cameron Diaz, she jumped and punched her way in and out of trouble under the direction of music clip maestro McGee. With its heavenly blend of butt-kicking action and slapstick comedy, the first film made off with $258 million worldwide. Its runaway success gave birth to a 2003 sequel called Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. This time, Lucy started taking out the good guys.
Lucy stepped on a push off my hand. She missed my hand and went and punctured my thigh, basically, with her heel. And I had a big, huge welt all the way down my leg, which was kind of nice.
She observed it and she said it was artwork every day. I don't know if it's making me feel better because I said it.
No, it was. There's artwork every day.
Perhaps she was just warming up for her role as the evil Oren Ishii in Quentin Tarantino's Splatfest Kill Bill Volume 1. Training for the part was intense.
Chinese martial arts and Japanese samurai sword training was completely different because samurai swords are very heavy and you have to hold your body in a very specific position where you don't bend over. You have to have your back straight the entire time and you have to be squatting. So it's an intensive workout on your thighs and on your forearms because of the sword.
The New York native has proved that she's a woman of action off the screen as well as on. In her real-life capacity as a Goodwill ambassador for UNICEF, she recently flew out to the Democratic Republic of Congo. The scene of the deadliest conflict since World War II, it's estimated that 1,200 people still die there every day as a lingering result of the conflict. As part of a mission to provide DRC with the basic tools they need to survive, Lucy visited centres for former child soldiers and survivors of sexual violence. She also met with communities that have been displaced due to the ongoing conflict to help raise awareness and publicise the issues. She's also been active in raising awareness about human trafficking in Asia. And in 2003, she took a huge drop in salary to play an HIV-positive woman in the film 3 Needles, drawing attention to the improper treatment of AIDS in China and Thailand.
In Europe and in North America now, it's very rare that somebody will die from AIDS and HIV because we have the cocktail, we have all of these other medicines and prescriptions and pharmaceutical breakdowns of what we need to do in order to, as well as a huge awareness of, you know, you have safe sex and all those things. In other parts of the world, they don't know. Children are boiling needles or just rewrapping needles because they want to make money. Their first instinct is survival.
In 2006, she took on the role of executive producer for the documentary Freedom's Fury, a film that dramatises the Hungarian Revolution of 1956.
The first time a crime lord asked you to kill the gay son of a rival gangster.
The same year, she agreed to star opposite Josh Hartnett and Bruce Willis in the independent thriller Lucky Slevin on the strength of the script.
Nick has been painting me in the corner since we were kids.
I'd love to hear the rest of this, but I really gotta go back to work. Oh, hey.
Able to speak Chinese, Italian, Spanish and Japanese, Lucy attributes her talent for multitasking to her Taiwanese heritage and says she's happiest doing 10 things at once. Other strings to her bow include a flair for art. Over the past few years, her collages, painting and photography have been showcased in 3 gallery shows, with the proceeds going to UNICEF. She's also partial to rock climbing and playing the accordion, although probably not at the same time. Born in 1962 in Orlando, Florida, Wesley Snipes is a 4th Dan black belt in Shotokan karate. His early training in martial arts probably came in handy while growing up in the Bronx, where he attended the famous High School for the Performing Arts before making his film debut in Wildcats in 1986. After appearing in several Spike Lee films, he started making a name for himself in movies like Passenger 57 and Demolition Man, opposite vintage action man Sylvester Stallone. But it was in the 1998 action flick Blade that Wesley really came into his own. As well as starring as the titular vampire hunter, he also served as fight choreographer and producer. Blade raked in $128 million worldwide, opening the door to 2 sequels. But while his professional life was kicking along nicely, Wesley's personal life was falling into disarray. In the mid-1990s, while on probation on a California gun conviction, he was charged with reckless driving after engaging in a 120-mile-per-hour chase with the Florida Highway Patrol. Then he had to face claims that he had fathered a child following a liaison in a Chicago crack house. Wesley twice refused to take a paternity test, declaring he had never met the woman and that she was a delusional crack addict. His case was strengthened by the revelation that she had made similar claims about President Clinton, Prince, and, wait for it, Oprah Winfrey. Eventually, another man agreed to take the test and proved to be the father. The case was thrown out, with Wesley countersuing the woman for the embarrassment the affair had caused him, as well as a New York judge who ordered him to take the paternity test, and Indiana prosecutors for pursuing the woman's fantastical claims. But all that was little more than a minor inconvenience compared to the tax fiasco that was beginning to unfold. In 2006, Wesley found himself charged with 1 count of conspiracy to defraud the United States, 1 count of making or aiding and abetting the making of a false and fraudulent claim for payment against the United States, and 6 counts of willfully failing to file his income tax returns. During '96 and '97, he allegedly attempted to claim a false return of nearly $12 million. It was also claimed that between 1999 and 2004, he had failed to pay any tax at all on an income of around $38 million, even after he was informed that he was under investigation by the Internal Revenue Service. The investigation was hampered by Wesley's disappearance. In 2005, he was stopped at Johannesburg International Airport, allegedly in the process of trying to use a fake South African passport. His valid US passport allowed him to leave the country, but his immigration status suffered as a result, with South African authorities dubbing him undesirable. Then it was on to Nigeria, where he was given the full red carpet treatment. The local media speculated that his visit might spark a wave of foreign tourism and investment in the local movie industry.
Hi, Wesley. The president has asked me not only to welcome you to Nigeria, but to welcome you to Abuja and give you special treatment.
But if Wesley had been hoping his problems back in the US were about to be resolved by scoring a Nigerian passport, he was about to be disappointed.
He has asked me to confer on you honorary citizenship of the city of Abuja.
The token offer wasn't going to solve his problems, but he remained gracious.
Thank you very much for your hosting. Thank you very much for your interest and your patience.
Finally, he was tracked down to Namibia, where he was shooting his latest film, Gallow Walker. In December 2007, the US Inland Revenue Service ordered him home to Florida, where he was indicted and released on a $1 million bond to finish the film. As he left the airport, Wesley was still protesting his innocence.
Good afternoon. My name is Wesley Snipes, for those of you who don't know who I am. I want to say thank you to all my fans. Thank you for the support from my family, and to my foes, thank you very much as well. I look forward to vindicating myself. I look forward to clearing my name and continuing on the pursuits of establishing international exchange of the arts and the upliftment of humanity and African people around the world. Thank you very much.
The case finally went to trial in January 2008. 2 months later, after being convicted of failing to file a tax return, the judge recommended he serve the maximum prison sentence of 3 years.